Hi beauties, it's Jaded Beautiful. I'm going to do a different kind of video today. It's perfect for this time of year. It's going to be a super spooky, very scary video. And it's about real life paranormal experiences that myself and my husband experienced while living in a farmhouse that was about 300 to 400 years old. We only lived there for about 3 to 4 months, and you will find out why. If you want to keep watching this video and watch a really spooky story time video, then keep on watching. I also want to ask you to subscribe to my channel and get jaded today. I see y'all out there watching and you're not subscribing. Go ahead and subscribe. Takes 2 seconds. The little button will be right down there, or it'll be at the end of the video where a little bubble will pop up where you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel. So, if you guys want to watch a video like that, then go ahead and keep on watching. Alright, so where do I begin with this story? So, me and my husband were looking for a new place for us, and we wanted it to be a little bit more out in the country than what we had been living, because we pretty much had been living in the city for the whole time we'd been together. So we wanted something different, something out in the country. I wanted something like an old Victorian or farmhouse style of house that was multi-level, and we found the perfect place, what we thought was the perfect place. And we also, plus bonus, got a really good deal on this place. It was a huge blue farmhouse, giant blue farmhouse that sat right off of a road that led straight directly back into the city. It sat up on this little hill. It had a beautiful, cute front yard that was surrounded by trees, so there was privacy. And it had a gigantic backyard that dipped down, and then there was a big barn at the end, like huge barn at the end of the yard. That became my husband's workshop. It became his little man cave, if you will. And when I tell you that this place was absolutely gorgeous, I'm not lying. It had just been renovated, all hardwood floors throughout, brand new heating systems. They were all digital and just really high tech. Everything had been modified from being like a 300 to 400 year old farmhouse to being a super modern house, but with still that old farmhouse character. So we move in. Everything goes great at first. We love it. It's huge. It has so much space, and we just love living there. We started to notice something weird a couple of weeks in. There was still some renovations that were needing to be done on the place, so my husband was doing these renovations, and the first thing that happened was he was renovating the plumbing from the upstairs bathroom and running the pipe from where the new shower was going to be down to the basement. And the pipe was going to go, of course, down to the basement and out the basement or wherever it connects. I'm not good at that kind of stuff. So he was installing this pipe, and he had his brother downstairs that was helping install this pipe. Well, while he was installing it and he looked down into the hole, the first thing that happened was, as he looked down into this hole, he all of a sudden sees this hand go across the bottom of this hole down in the basement. Like, and it wasn't just a human, it was see-through, kind of, in a way, but it was a hand. You could clearly see it was a hand. Went across underneath the pipe, like someone that walked by. He asked his brother if he was anywhere around. His brother wasn't even down in the basement when it happened. So there was nobody that could have been around when this happened. So that was the first instance, and we kind of just shrugged it off. We thought maybe his brother was playing a prank on us or whatever. The next thing that happened, and that would happen often, was we would be sitting in the living room, and we would be watching TV, and the TV was on this side, and then back toward, like way back behind us, through the dining room and through the back room of the house, there was another entrance to the home. And we would always hear knocking. Just, you know, it would happen, and then it would stop, and then it would stop. And we'd go check, and we'd check and make sure the door was secure, and that it wasn't just something shaking or anything, and it wasn't. And the less that you paid attention to it, the more aggressive it would get. It would go from like a light knocking to a loud banging. Like very extremely loud banging. And this happened a lot. And I'm talking every single time we would sit down and watch TV, it would happen. It happened so bad that one time when my mom came to visit and we were watching TV, it was not a knock anymore. It was literally it sounded like someone trying to yank the door open or bust into the door. It started out kind of not quiet. It wasn't quiet at all the entire time, but it started out just slight at first. So we just kind of shrugged it off. Thought it was the wind. There was kind of a winter storm going on at that time. There was snow on the ground. The wind was blowing. So we just shrugged it off. But then it got very, very aggressive to the point to where we picked up our phones and we called 911. And we went and hid in one of the other rooms of the house until they arrived because we thought for sure that someone was breaking into our house. The cops arrived. They go around back. They have us stay inside. I'm fighting a cold, you guys, so I'm sorry. So the cops go out back. They do their look around. We're sitting there waiting the entire time in anticipation. So the cops come inside and they look at us and they say, "You guys, I don't know what you guys heard, and we're not doubting you that something happened, but there's no signs of anything back there. There's no footprints in the snow. It's completely blank snow. Not a sign of anybody being back there. The door, if it would have been tried to have been opened, would have moved the snow and pulled some of the snow back. There was none of that. There was no sign of anyone being there at all." And they just kind of were like, we can't explain this, you guys. We can't explain what happened. If anything else happens this evening, don't hesitate to call us, and they went on their way. So the three of us, me, my mom, and my husband, are left sitting there like, what just happened? What was that? We know someone was trying to get into our house. We know there was someone back there banging and yanking very aggressively on our door and pushing in on the inside door after the screen door had been opened. We heard that inside door also being pushed on. Of course, we looked back every time it would happen, and we would see nobody there because there was a huge glass window in the door, and there was nobody there. It was late at night, so, if somebody would have been there and they would have been dressed in all black, we wouldn't have seen them anyways, but there was nobody there anytime. All of us were too afraid to go check the door itself and see if there was anybody there, of course, because that would be dangerous if somebody would have actually been there. But it was very aggressive. After the cops left, we were really freaked out. Like I said, we were kind of just sitting there, just bewildered, kind of tripped out. We told my mom about the times we had heard the knockings and poundings on the door before, but we had never experienced anything like that. It was kind of like whatever it was knew that there was someone new in the house, and it wanted to really put on a show. Okay, so that time, that's what happened with that. We got real freaked out, really freaked out. Another instance that happened was me and my husband were taking a nap one day. It was around midday. We just decided to go upstairs, take a nap. So our house was set up to where the living room was here and the stairs were right off of the living room. And you go up the stairs. To the left is one bedroom, to the right is another bedroom, and down the hall is another bedroom. We took the bedroom to the right. At the very top of the stairs, down just a little ways and to the right was our bedroom. After our bedroom was the bathroom to the right. So we lay down for this nap. And we're laying there, and a few seconds into the nap, we both hear talking downstairs. We didn't think anything of it because the landlord of the house would come time to time to check in on things, check in on the renovations, just to check in on the house and see how it was going. He was a very good family friend, and he had a key, and we didn't think anything of it, so we thought maybe it was him. So we just lay there and we go back to sleep. We're like, oh, if he needs us, he'll holler for us. So we're laying there, continue to hear the muffled talking, and then we hear someone start to come up the stairs. So I'm like, okay, Brandon, go ahead and check and see what he needs, what he's wanting, because he's obviously coming to see or get one of us and talk to us. So he goes to the top of the stairs. I can see him, I'm looking at him, and he looks at me, and his eyes are huge, like giant. And he says, Amber, there's no one here. And we both heard the footsteps coming up the stairs. Just, coming up the stairs. And nobody's there. I've got chills right now thinking about it. So we're like, okay. By this point, we knew the place was haunted. So we're like, okay, whatever. Let's just lay back down. Let's just try to take our nap. We both worked full-time jobs. We're like, it's our day off. We want a nap. So we lay back down, and this time we lay down to where he's facing me and I'm facing him on the bed, as opposed to spooning or whatever. We just face each other. The next thing that happened is one of the creepiest things that has ever happened to me in my entire life, and I will never forget it. I'm laying there in bed, and it happens each time, as it seems like I'm about to drift off to sleep, but then this happens. So I'm laying there, I just got my head down, and then all of a sudden, on this ear, I hear and I literally feel the breath, a whispering. It's just like a nothing clear, have no idea what it said, but it was a loud enough whispering and a aggressive enough whispering that I could feel the breath from it on my neck and my ear. And I open my eyes wide. At the same time I look over, my husband's eyes are wide open, looking straight at me. I said, "Did you hear that?" He said, "Yes." The whispering? I didn't even tell him what I heard, and he knew what it was. So that was validation to me right there that he heard the exact same thing I did. It happened to me, and it was on my neck. I felt it, whatever it was, and I was like, all right, I can't take it anymore. Let's get up. Let's get out of here for the evening. I gotta leave. I want to leave right now. Let's get out of here. That was too much. That was like physical interaction. I felt it. It literally talked to me, and I don't want to deal with this right now. So we left, and was real smart, but we didn't come back until like dark, late that evening. But when we came back, I was prepared, and I was like, look, we know you're here. You've shown us you're here. I just don't ever want to feel you again. I don't want you to violate my space again and speak directly to me or in my ear ever again. We can coexist, and it does not have to be like a bad existence. It doesn't have to be like we can make this work. It stayed quiet for a while. It stayed pretty docile. We would still hear footsteps. We would still hear noises. We would still hear muffled talking when we were upstairs. We would hear footsteps in the other room. It became something that was normal to us. But it got to the point where we couldn't take it anymore. My husband was working in this was the last straw. This is what happened, and we were like, nope, we're done. My husband was down in his workshop in the barn, and he was just down there by himself. It was mid-afternoon, and he hears voices talking, loud voices. And he's like, oh God, shit. Excuse my language, but, it's happening again. It creeped him out. And look, I'm talking about it right now, and there's like orbs going on. Nice. So, he's working in his workshop, and hears the voices. And then, it was such an old farmhouse. Sorry, there's a loud truck going by. Okay. It was such an old farmhouse, and they still had, like, you know, the hay bale, like, hooks that, like, they're huge, and they're really sharp, and they're really scary looking anyways, but those huge hay bale hooks were still hanging at the top of the barn, and there was not a breath of wind that day, you guys. Not one breath of wind that day. He's hearing these voices, and they start getting louder, and all of a sudden, these hooks start swaying and scraping together, making a scraping metal sound. And he hauls ass out of that workshop, boy, comes running up to the house and is like, I am done. I cannot take this place no more. It's too much. We've expressed ourselves and said, come on, we can live together if you can stay to yourself and we can stay to ourselves, but this is enough. Now you're starting to single us out together, like you're singling her out, and she's hearing stuff. I would hear stuff all the time. Like when I was in the shower, it's another thing. I'm in the shower, I would hear voices all the time, and I was so terrified that if I was to look out of the shower or anything like that, that I would definitely see something. And I wasn't going to do that. There was always shadows. Out of the corner of your eye, there'd always be a shadow, something moving. And we always felt like it was a grown person, because it was never like little children, like little playing, like footsteps, anything. No, this was like an adult, something, spirit. I know it was probably a spirit. It wasn't anything that was menacing or anything like that, because it really didn't do anything menacing. Sorry, guys, I'm fighting a cold. But it was enough. Things were starting to happen to us separately, and we felt like it was just getting more and more and more. And we were just like, I don't want to be here when this happens, and it's at the worst that it can get. So that's when we decided to pack up our beautiful dream home and say goodbye to it, because we could not take the hauntings anymore. So that's my haunting story. That's like my story time video I wanted to share with you guys. I felt like it was a great time to share this video with you. It's a great time of year to hear spooky stories, spooky experiences. That is the most terrifying place I've ever lived in my entire life. I've lived in haunted houses before, but never anything to that extent and to have that many experiences in one place. My husband actually lived in a haunted house when he was a kid, where him and his mother would see a woman float by. Wouldn't see all of her, but just her hair float by in the mirror. They eventually had to move out of that place too, because it was so scary to them. So, I mean, we've had haunted experiences our whole lives, but this place was just too much. The bargain we got on it was not worth it to us anymore. We couldn't deal with it. We couldn't stand it. It was affecting our everyday. We were hearing things every day. It was affecting people that would come over and visit us, because it would get more aggressive, because it wanted everybody to know it was there. Did you guys just see that? So, I mean, I don't know if I'm hyping this up, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thought it was the perfect time to film it. I would like to ask all of you to subscribe to my channel. I am looking to do a lot of new content, a lot of different kind of stuff. I got some cool stuff coming up, you guys. I also have my very first company that I am representing. I will get that discount code up as soon as I have it. It is called Swim Classy. They're a great company. It's a swimwear company that promotes body image. They do not edit, Photoshop, anything, any of their images of their women that model their bathing suits. And that is a company that I am very thrilled to work with. I'll put that discount code up as soon as I have it. Thank you guys for watching so much. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any paranormal experiences yourselves that you kind of want to share, shoot them off down below. I want to hear about them. I love hearing about this kind of stuff. I'm obsessed with this kind of stuff. I love it. So, that's just my story, and I wanted to tell you guys, I love all of you so very much. You guys mean the world to me. All of you. So, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, You need to do it. You need to get subscribed today. Get jaded today. I see you out there. You're watching. You're not subscribing. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button or click the little bubble that's going to pop up. The button's right down there. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one, okay? Bye-bye.